Hi, I'm Marci Degman, the Aspiring Gardener, and today we're going to talk about caring for a magnolia. Now, I have a pretty good example here of a magnolia that's been through a lot and that we've been working with. This is a southern magnolia, and probably the first thing you want to remember is that they can be from 15 to 75 feet tall. So you want to start with one that's the right size. Now, this is probably somewhere in between, but what we had was a very, very large fir branch drop on this magnolia. And one of the things that magnolias have are very brittle branches. So you have to be really delicate with them, and you don't really want things to fall on them. So we've had to do a little bit of first aid and support it because the center was broken out and the limbs were sideways. So we had to kind of brace it with this pole, and then we had to we took some leaves and wrapped it around there so we wouldn't girdle it because it's really kind of a brittle soft wood and we didn't want to do damage. So we just wrapped some of the leaves of the tree around it to protect it and some wire. And we'll have to come out and readjust that. But you have to protect it. You don't want it to become open in the middle and heavy in the branches. If it does get too heavy, you might want to trim some of those branches back to lighten that up because they can completely split. The other thing that's important to know about a magnolia is that they can burn in afternoon sun. They need sunlight to bloom like many plants, but they don't like that hot, intense sun. So the fir tree was a good idea, but the branch didn't exactly cooperate. You also want to keep them moist. They need summer water. They're not a super drought tolerant tree. They need good drainage, but they need water. It's a good idea to mulch and to compost around the base. They don't need a high amount of fertilizer, but a good nutritious compost will usually do it. So with that said, the other thing you have to remember with the root system is it is brittle and shallow, just like the branches. So you want to be really careful. You don't want to drive around it, you don't want to mess with the roots, and you don't want to plant things around the roots of a magnolia. That's going to cause problems. You can put a really slight ground cover, but you don't want to be digging around those roots. And you don't want to transplant a magnolia tree once it's happy. So take care of the roots of your magnolia, take care of the limbs, be good to your tree, and you'll have blooms for many years to come.